is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside Lumen Field on your standard rain-filled afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been all systems going this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And Scout folks believe that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
First down, Tampa Bay.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They toss it to Warren. And he's up across midfield and down in the Seattle territory. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 2. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
A gain of 4 yards.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. A handoff for Warren. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
It's a gain of 10. And the Buccaneer first down.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the defense says they have it. They do. One play into the ball game and early turnover. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Now a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The numbers for Mixon last week, 18 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Second down and 6 now. It's Mixon on the counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing now is Daniels. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. To throw is Nix. And that is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first two possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Buccaneers' 39-yard line.
Daniels looking to throw. Shakir hauls it in. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Here's Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Good for a Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A first carry for Samaje Perine. They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
To the air goes Daniels. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, well, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
Quick throw there is incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just know that's right. The line's better than the turnover. The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Next to the air. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. When you talk about this Seahawks defense, this unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
I remember years ago spending time with a top defensive coordinator, and he said the number one thing you have to do is hang your hat on something. Create your identity. This unit, they hang their hat on being stingy against the run.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a first.
Tampa Bay.
They'll go play action with Nix. They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. On the give, it's Warren. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 39.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
Jake Bailey.
On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They go play action. Daniels. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
It's now 2nd and 10.
To throw is Daniels. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
that's good for a Seahawks. First down.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. As they've got it as we resume action. Now Daniels has his man, it's Shakir. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd.
From the gun on 3rd down, Daniels. And he's going to be taken down at the 39. clearly short of the first by a few yards. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Nick Benito coming in there to record the sack. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Left side complete to Lockett. And just shy of midfield. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at their 49.
Here's a give to Mixon. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
And that's good for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 at their 22-yard line.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
They'll key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jaden Daniels. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to widen their advantage. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 37-yard line.
They'll run it, Warren. And they will only muster a yard here at the 38. This offense so far on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
And a Buccaneer first down.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
No shortage of impressive numbers for him thus far. Now he's halfway into the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
And the Seahawks defense gets to it and bring him down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. That time, Charles, great job keeping him in the pocket and not letting him escape.
And, Brandon, I think this was a great example of the front and the back working together, meaning the back covering, no place.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Nick Bonito. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to Seattle Seahawks offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A toss left, Mixon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Credit the defense there to Quay Walker, getting behind the line of scrimmage before they could rip off any sort of a gain. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to throw. Daniels. Well, that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll make it 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Operating from the gun. Daniels. Oh, shifts past him. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 32-yard line.
Good for a Seahawks first down. First down.
Hand off to Mixon. He'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. The Seahawks are the perfect 4-0 to start the campaign. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Anderson hauls it in. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
1st down, Tampa Bay.
Throwing Nix. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he will free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 42.
Here's Nix. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now it's Nix. He lets one go deep for Addison. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They can use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Back to throw. Daniels. Got it in. It's Brown. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 2nd and 2. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And we'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
That's good for a Seattle Seahawks. 1st and 10.
Now the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And they'll get him down here at the 42.
10 more yards.
A final shot before break. Daniels. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 25-yard line. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team.
Scott,
Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And that one never got off the ground. He's going to be stopped up well behind the line of scrimmage. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Off the play fake, Daniels. The pass complete to Ingram on the crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. It's complete to Brown, right side. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the Bucs.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
It's a gain of 7.
Here's 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the 16-yard line.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Down to the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back into 32. Mike Hilton, always dangerous on the corner blitz, and he gets the sack. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
2nd and 6.
To throw, here's Nix. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
First down, Buccaneers.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And that play stopped behind the line by a corner. Trent McDuffie getting in there.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 12.
To throw is Nix. And that one too wide and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now Joe Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and
Throwing
10.
now is Daniels. Quick slant to Brown. He gets 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Here's Daniels. It's caught. Lockett. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking about the 16. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now we're a 1st down pickup of 8.
To number 3, Jordan Addison. An 8-yard pickup. And
On the run, it's Warren. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Looking to throw. Nix. It's complete to Jones. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Nix to the air. Getting this out to the flat. Mostert. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Back to the air with Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
At the 7-yard line.
Now run with Warren. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
Behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 yards. And it's third.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Bo Nix, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
The Bucs will set up for the 2-point.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
The Seahawks offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Leads to 2nd and 10.
Daniels looking to throw. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing to start the drive. Nix. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Bo Nix with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Bucs have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Seahawks offense and running back Joe Mixon set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Tyler.
2nd and 10.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
To the air goes Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
It's a gain of 6.
To throw is Daniels. Down the sideline he goes. And finally marked down at the 23. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throw left side complete to Ingram. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That really sets them back, a loss of 6.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least make it a 5-point cushion. And his kick here is good. And it will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. Looking to put a drive together. Nix from the shotgun. Addison hauls it in. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Here's Warren. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll find Gabriel Davis. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Seahawks 32-yard line.
Oh no, lost the football. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Recovered by the offense.
Here's Nix. Under pressure now, he's going to go down. Sitting back around the 8. Not the 1st and goal play they drew out. Multiple defenders in to bring him down the ground.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, paired that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Running left, it's Warren. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
The Folks' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Daniels. This will be caught once again by Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Try to eat some clock and mix it. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 37. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try to loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Nixon will try the right side. Down to the 25. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This is 2nd and 8. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Daniels going to try to sneak. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And they'll indeed take a knee. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown.
That's complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yards.
okay.
Now they go straight. It's complete. And they'll get him down short of first down, right on the 10-yard line.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy, and they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
One final chance on the kick return, but no chance on the other side that they were going to let him navigate all the way to the end zone, Charles. And that ends up being the final play in this one.
Yeah, you're right about that. Special teams coaches, they spend a lot of time working on these types of situations, and they go over every crazy possibility that can happen in this situation. They were able to cover successfully and end the game.
So for the Seahawks, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the calendar changed. October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.